I'm Ashton from the Crypto Coin Show, and today on Blockchain Interviews, we have Sean Ren, co-founder and CEO of Sahara AI, here to talk about the intersection of AI and blockchain, decentralized AI and why it's important, and much, much more. Sean, welcome to the show, and thanks for taking the time.
Thanks, Ashton, for having me. Glad to be here.
Yeah, AI is growing so quickly. I need experts like yourself to keep us up to date on where it's heading, especially with the intersection of blockchain and what value that can provide to have both of those together. I would love to kick off our conversation by, first of all, hearing a little bit about yourself and what your team have done at Sahara AI so far, and then we can dive into all the latest topics.
Yeah, totally. I'm Sean Ren. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Sahara AI. My personal background is kind of an interesting mix of research, product, and technology transfer. So I've been working in AI for the past like 15 years, starting even just like a senior in undergrads that I really got into this machine learning concept, which later everyone called it AI or deep learning. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so I basically started working as in my PhD career, the sort of a problem of like what we call knowledge extractions or information extraction, which is like creating structure representation of human knowledge of the world from the massive unstructured data sits on the internet, right? And that is like a really intriguing problem to help me understand, uh, once we actually collect and construct all this data representation of the knowledge, what if we can help AI models learn about that, right? So that basically pushed me further into the later of my career where I spent time at Stanford as a postdoc and later become an associate professor at University of Southern California, working with over 20 PhD students on various fronts of AI, including how to make AI cheaper to be customized for various business usage and how to make AI safer to be deployed while preserving user data security and protecting user privacy while being able to properly make use of this personal data to improve the model capability. And it's exactly during my tenure at USC, especially uh, in late 2022, I have a lot of discussions with my co-founder Tyler, who is a former investor of Binance Lab and taught me a lot of concepts from blockchain and crypto,
Mm-hmm.
where I start realizing, hey, AI is not only about just productivity, right? Not just about how to improve the capability of the models and the systems to be better than human. It's also about how to facilitate us to build up a more sustainable and healthier ecosystem where everyone that have interacted with AI, either in the way of contributing their own data to improving AI or interacting with AI by providing feedbacks or like providing good model recipes for a better AI architectures or like providing GPU compute for training AI. All of them is part of the ecosystem and supposed to get their own sort of fair compensation for what they have
Mm-hmm.
done in the process of improving AI. And this is not how today's Web2 AI landscapes looks like. So that was really concerning, but also very intriguing problem to me that we start thinking about how to use blockchain to build a platform where on top of that platform, if you create AI data sets or models or agents or any kind of applications that are powered by AI, in that process, we can sort of have an open ledger type of a copyright system to automatically record and trace everyone's contribution
Mm-hmm.
when the AI is being created. If that could happen, this is a very powerful provenance structure that we can use it to enable some new business models among these participants. For example, I can split the model into multiple shares that are owned by different parties. The model developers own some of them, the compute providers own some of them,
Mm-hmm.
the data contributors to the model own some of them. And this is recorded on-chain, immutable, transparent, and auditable by anyone. And you can just use smart contract to autonomously attribute every single dollar made by the model or the application powered by the model to all these upstream contributors. And this is what we call a sort of a new revenue sharing mechanisms powered by such a provenance structure. And we really want to sort of realize this vision. And that's where we start the whole Sahara AI platform in order to build towards this open and collaborative AI ecosystem.
Wow, that's really cool, Sean. And being in AI before it is even called AI, in machine learning and deep learning, you obviously have a strong expertise in how AI has been developed, and it's probably been, most people they've only followed in the last 2-3 years or so when ChatGPT really broke, millions of into millions of computers in the first days of release, and now it's open to the world. And this is something that it's like being in Bitcoin in 2010. Like you were there, you've seen it develop, but on the AI side. And I'm glad that you are incorporating the principles of blockchain in a sense that fair compensation model that you're talking about. Because if not, it's just version 2.0 of the technocracy of the search engines that are using everyone's input to almost, in a way, using it against them to sell them more or to build more power in a centralized structure. And I think AI is even better at collecting and analyzing and using data than the search engines were. So that would make this problem even bigger of a problem. So I would love to hear more on how exactly that works in building a fair compensation model and like decentralized AI. So if I was a user that went to ChatGPT and I've used that before, and then I see Sahara AI, does that look different from the front end if I go there and I'm like doing inferencing? What is the main difference from a user perspective?
Yeah, great question. So Sahara AI is having multiple different target users, right? For a user of AI, um, the first principle is very simple. It's just like frictionless, right? It's just like using any other AI apps. You didn't notice anything too different. But for developers and builders who own the AIs, things works different because they now start seeing, oh, I have this like account and building that I see these revenues come in from every single different access I co-owned with others. And I got maybe one 10% split on that model that I contribute, and then another 20% split on the data sets that I build, and so on and so forth, right? And this is like a continuous revenue stream as the other models that you contribute to are being deployed and used by the others, right? So just to give a little bit more context on how this is actually uh, operationalized on our products, right? So if at the very high level, we can see Sahara AI ecosystem has two layers. On the bottom layer is what we call the blockchain infrastructure layer. We created Sahara blockchain that basically serves as the provenance infrastructure, as I mentioned, like a copyright system for the entire platform that really monitor every single important events and actions happens in the process of developing AI agents and models. It's a purpose-built layer one blockchain for AI. It's EVM compatible. Specifically, we are building a lot of AI native precompiled functions and asset management protocols that specialize for the purpose I was mentioning. And on top of this blockchain layer, we have the application layer. This is actually our moat compared to many other uh, crypto AI infra projects that no one else in the entire industry has. We create two natively building and enterprise-grade applications. One is called Sahara Data Service Platform. It's basically a decentralized data collection enabling platform leveraging crypto incentives. Everyone coming are able to select some of the projects that they have expertise. For example, listening to an audio, trying to write down the text of it, looking at a video, write a really like detailed and thorough descriptions of what's going on in the video, even taking pictures of something that in your real life, or like just like recording part of your screens when you are operating on certain softwares. that being very useful for training agents in the AI industry, right? Many types of data, many types of tasks, many kinds of projects sitting on them. We have a network of over 500,000 online gig workers or data service providers are actually using this platform. We have a daily active users around 200,000 right now sitting on the platform. This is only during a whitelisted phase, not even like a general access yet. And then the other key application we have is called Sahara AI developer platform. Basically, a one-stop shop for the end-to-end process of AI development, provide all of the developer tools and services for the AI constructions or the AI lifecycle. Anyone, whether you're a techie or non-techie person, you can create and bring AI models to their own use cases and also further monetize them through the process I mentioned, right? You can publish them on a marketplace where other people can browse, discover, and then purchase the license to use it. And you can further even tokenize it into a sort of AI asset token where the DeFi ecosystem can come in and invest on those tokens. And you have all the upsides if you are actually a very valuable and sort of continuously growing good AI access, then you have more liquidity come into your access that you can use them to build the next iterations of the models, right? This is really like an on-chain proprietary version of Hugging Face with the provenance supported by our blockchain platform. Yeah, so I would say this is kind of like an overview of what we are offering today.
That's really cool. And yeah, I would love to learn more about the tokenization part of it, how tokens can fit in there. Blockchain can provide that transparency, trust, security, ensuring that the developers are getting what they rightfully need and the ownership can reside with them or the credits for building. Where is that? Where is this at with the blockchain and the crypto side of it? Is that already integrated, or are the starting models? And can people go right now and use the models with or without blockchain?
Yeah, our data service platform launched almost like 3 months ago. We've been go to market with it on enterprise clients, even started like a year ago, working with very big logos like Microsoft, Amazon, Snapchat, Capture AIs, many schools, research labs, creating over 5 million revenues within just 6 months of time of go to market with enterprise client.
Wow.
And then we now gradually open this up to all of the retail users, starting with a whitelist of 200,000, have a very high active user ratio. Probably in the next couple months, we'll make it generally accessible to anyone there. On the AI developer platform side, we start beta testing about like a month ago. We have dozens of initial beta testers giving very good feedbacks on the tools, and we are going to launch part of the developer platforms. For example, the model uploading, data set uploading, registration on chain part, probably done the month, maybe early next month. And then we'll open up the marketplace for everyone to come to discover and browse and publish data sets. And then we're going to gradually open up everything from the developer platform. And everything we open up to publics will be already on chain, right? For example, if you upload a data set or a model, the last steps of the uploading process is to register on chain. And then you will actually have a ownership NFT token that you have to claim. And it could be a co-ownership token as well that you co-own with, you have your NFT, which is associated with a bunch of other NFT that jointly owned a data set or a model. And then down the road, this will be then really integrate with our licensing tokens that shows how usage comes into the access, how revenue flow in the access, and then you follow the ownership tokens to split the revenues, to attribute the revenue back to all of the contributors. That's like roughly how it's going to operate down the road.
It's very cool. I'm looking forward to the full public access with blockchain crypto integrations. I'll be jumping on. It sounds like the whitelist and the daily active users, as you mentioned, it's already oversubscribed. There's a huge demand for this. And with those partnerships that you mentioned, I saw there's Microsoft, Amazon. You mentioned 5 million in revenue as well. That's incredible. Is that through the dev environments on those platforms, or is that with the organization? How did you guys manage, and how do you manage those huge partnerships?
Yeah, I mean, for just the $5 million revenue is just for the data service platform alone. We've been using these tools to actually work on some of the very challenging AI data projects from these enterprise clients, right, on different modality and use cases. And that's been very successful because number one, we have very competitive price because we have a huge network of online gig workers that willing to uh, take sort of like attractive pay to them because they come from different regions of the world. And then number two, because of the huge network, we cover a wide range of different expertise that rarely exists in the existing Web2 data service companies like Scale AI even. We managed to really like compete with like Scale AI on multiple of these enterprise client projects to deliver both high quality and very fast paced results. But on top of this, the developer platform, we have also done successful go-to-market with enterprise clients. Like, for example, Motherson is a public company in India doing like a car parts manufacturing. They want to use agent built from this developer platform for various use cases such as CAD design, like supply chain optimization, dashboard monitoring, legal document reviews, and so on. So we start building in a sequence various agents for their use cases using our developer platform while recording the sort of the provenance of them. Um, and the main reasons is still like number one because we have a very strong AI native development team here in the projects that even just creating Web2 AI projects, we are very competitive on the landscapes. But really the mode for us today is to adding this provenance and adding this liquidity on the access token that really bring a huge difference to the Web2 developers because there's no way today for Web2 developers to monetize their models and data sets. It doesn't happen on Hugging Face or GitHub because these are all open source platforms, right? We have to build a proprietary privacy protect platform for them. Plus introducing liquidity come from the Web3 retail side. So you get best of the both worlds.
Definitely. Obviously, that's important to make it worthwhile for the developers. And I saw on X, OpenAI CEO was talking about the fact that people are really same here. The users are using the platform a lot. Once they have access, it's like daily users. Like everyone's a daily user, and for them, it was like they're almost using it too much. He made a statement like, "Can you guys tone it back? Like, first, we're losing money, and second, like once you add in the graphic capabilities and audio, video, people are like doing it all day, and like they're actually losing money." So, does the blockchain economics and the supply, maybe having like decentralized compute, does that change things and give an advantage to decentralized AI like Sahara in that there's no company itself that's going to be losing money, that the supply comes from the users itself?
Yeah, I think to answer your question, maybe better way to understand this is to first see what happens on Web2, right? I think on Web2 AI landscape, the problem is all of the revenues and monetization opportunities are controlled by the app builders. Like simply put, like these tech giants, right? Like Meta, Google, OpenAI. They are the application builder. They touch on the application users, which directly give them revenue. And then once they have this like huge revenue, they can have a dominant sort of a say on how much I'm gonna pay in for the GPU compute, how much I'm gonna pay in to hire these like AI talents. They control the entire landscapes. So there's not much the rest of the ecosystem can say because they don't have the revenue directly versus the sort of the paradigm that Sahara AI is trying to create is a very open and transparent monetization architecture, right? If you own something or you co-own something, the revenue gonna flow to you autonomously through the smart contract. There's no like centralized accounting, centralized like bookkeeping going on that like stop you earning money. And then that's a huge change. And I think number two, the huge difference is the liquidity. Today, if you are a great AI developers, you want to monetize yourself, the best way is to get hired by OpenAI, get the $1 million package with the equity, and that's probably the best upside you could have. But then, what if you can just like tokenize your models and data sets and get people invest into those tokens, bring the liquidity onto those tokens? I think that's like the two huge opportunities doesn't exist for the Web2 people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I'm really excited to see that liquidity side and the tokenization done in a proper way. And so, if, for example, I'm not a developer, I know there's a lot of viewers that aren't developers as well. They're always looking for great AI platforms, but also revenue opportunities are nice. So, for non developers, um, that there's different ways that they could potentially contribute and earn as well, right? So,
Exactly.
what are the different ways that regular business users can earn while using or contributing in the platform?
Um, Today we are seeing two types of retail users. One type of retail users are more like these online gig workers, right? They spend time online, they do work, they create good data sets, they label data sets. We have 500,000 of these users very actively working on our data service platform. There's more to come once we open up the data service platform for anyone to open a data project. So there will be more project available for them. And on the other side, if you are a DeFi retail user that you've been investing into, say, meme coins or sort of like opportunity space, then now you have an entirely new, brand new space where you see a bunch of data sets and models being tokenized. And the most different things from meme coin is like you know the fundamental of these assets, right? You know how much API calls been on these models. So you know that it's popular. It's actually making more revenue than the other models. And based on that, you can speculate where the coins is gonna go. And that's very different from the meme coin market.
Definitely, yeah. It's good to have some underlying fundamental value in this, and with all the active users using AI every day, I'm sure it's going to grow significantly once it opens to the public as well. I'm excited to see how that liquidity aspect works. Is there any, obviously that's a big part of the roadmap. Is there any timeline on when people can expect to see that?
Yeah, you can already apply for wireless access to our data service platforms and the developer platforms today. And we are opening up the wireless every 2, 3 weeks. So stay tuned on there. You can find the links on our websites, which Ashton gonna attach to the podcast links, and then follow our Twitter. Everything will be announced there. Down the road, we're gonna launch our AI marketplace. Everyone can come to here to upload your useful data sets, get them verified by the community, and then earn incentives for publishing good data sets. And you can use the incentives, the Sahara points, to also purchase good data sets for your own use cases and models as well. So stay tuned on our series of launches related to the AI marketplace and the developer platform.
Sounds great, Sean. I'm looking forward to it. I really appreciate your insights into decentralized AI and building a platform for fair compensation for the developers, users, everyone involved, and bringing those principles of blockchain, transparency, smart contract ownership. If you build it, you should be rewarded. No longer serving to the technocracy, at least in part. So I'm looking forward to those that the blockchain, crypto, liquidity add-ons in the coming months. I will be following along. I'll leave in the show notes those social links and the platform links and anything else we need so that people can access that. And would love to have you back on when we get closer to that crypto liquidity launch. And wishing you and the team all the best in the meantime.
Yeah, appreciate the time. Great chatting with you, Aston.